one thing that we have to talk about because because I'm hosting this, it just has to come up is food. Food, Thailand and food. Everybody loves Thai food. I know, it's just so exciting. Um, Thai food is so trendy here. Yeah, cow soy. Let's talk about cow soy. I've never seen cow soy in the United States, but it's a peanutty curry dish that occurs in mostly the northern region of Thailand, and it is incredible. But there's lots of curries, right, Sarah? What are some of the curries that we ate when we were there? Even made, we made a few.
Yeah, we did. I actually it's funny because I think masaman is pretty big here, and it's not as big in Thailand. And if we did find it, it was not at all the same as it is here, but mostly red and green curry, I think. And also we learned
Hmm.
that a lot of the soups, there wasn't too much of a distinction between some soups and some of the curries, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, and I think soups were a lot more popular than I thought, especially considering how hot it is
Hmm.
there. They eat tom yum and tom kha, which is a soup made with coconut milk there. And there's a lot of seafood, probably more than I would say they serve in Thai restaurants here. And everything is ridiculously spicy, just redefined spicy. And I would say also that here, pad Thai is so popular, and everybody asked me about it while I was there, and no Thai person ever
Hmm.
ordered pad Thai when I was in Thailand, right? Like, um, so I thought that was really interesting. Actually, if people are on the chat, I think you should all tell us what your favorite dishes are. I think that's fun. Um, and let's see, we have another question. This is about sort of, I mentioned that there are different provinces in Thailand and different regions. Um, this question says, do different provinces have varied beliefs like the people in the States? For example, Texas versus New York, which we can all attest to the fact that those are very different places. Um, I would say, I don't know, Sarah, I'm interested to see what you think. I know that in Thailand, because they have pretty much a uniform religion, it's a lot more similar than we are in the States. Although I know the South did have a small Muslim population. I don't know if you know more about that, but that was supposed to be like the dangerous area because there were Muslims there, which seems a little. Um,
I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a dangerous area, but I do think that across the board, because Thailand is such a uniformly, like they're very very uniform in their beliefs, that I don't think it's much like here where it's Texas versus New York versus something else. They all really for the most part have very very similar beliefs. I mean, for an entire country, I think I would say
right.
generally that yes, they do all have.
Yeah, there's a lot more uniformity religiously and ethnically. I know Bangkok did have somewhat of a mix of people, but the population is just, it's such a large percentage of Thai people that I think it definitely changes the cultural dynamics. So, yeah, that was a great question. Thank you, Chris. Um, I see that, oh, we're talking about some food words. I'm trying to think of some of the best phrases that I think everybody should know if they ever visit Thailand. Obviously, food ones are really important. Delicious, aroy, chicken, gai.
But
Sarah,
in
do you have a few
Thailand,
more?
with the well, but with the R's, it's never aroy. They say aroy. Like they roll the R, but it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like an L.
Right. L's and R's are definitely sort of interchangeable. Aroy, aroy. um, Let me think. I know cheers, which is really important if you're out um, having a drink with some of your Thai buddies. Chon gao, definitely important. Um, Speaking of drinks, Sarah, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what they drink in Thailand. So if you're out with Thai people, what can you expect they're going to be sipping as a their beverage?
Uh, Whiskey, definitely. It's like actually, I think it's technically like a rum slash whiskey. Either way, I don't think it's legal here. But the one that we drank was Hong Tong. Um, it
Yeah.
looks like Hong Thong,
Uh,
but it's Hong Tong. And what was the ingredient they have in it that's not allowed here?
Methamphetamines? No. Yeah, apparently they had methamphetamine. means in about that. I can definitely buy the possibility that there was no regulation on their food or alcohol, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was weird. Um, Definitely tasted a little bit like gasoline. Um, and the local
Mm.
or the national beers are Sing. It's spelled Singha, but you say otherwise you look like a tourist. Um, Chong, which means elephant. Elephant is the most revered animal in the country. If you go there, you can ride them. It's exciting. Um, what else did they? Oh, Leo. I remember Leo, but I've never seen it in the States or
Mm.
anywhere except for Thailand. But I was a fan of Leo. It had a
Me
leopard
either.
on the front, and it's what the workers drank. It was great. Um,
It was cheaper.
so, yeah, it was cheaper, exactly. Although cheap is a relative word when you compare the US to Thailand. Dinner was like a couple bucks there. Here it's, especially in Los Angeles or where Sarah is in DC, um, it just redefines expensive after living in Thailand.
Mm.
Um, One other thing I wanted to talk about were holidays in Thailand, and we did mention how much they revere their king and queen. Um, Mother's Day is Queen Sirikit's birthday, and Father's Day is King Bhumibol's birthday. No surprise there. And the best holiday, everyone agrees, is Songkran. And I think I didn't make it to Songkran because I was in Vietnam at the time, but Sarah did, and I want her to tell us a little bit about what Songkran is because it's an incredible holiday. Yeah, tell us about
Um,
it.
Songkran, the Thais call it the Thai New Year, and if you ask any Thai what their favorite holiday is, they will all tell you Songkran. It's like basically it's a countrywide water fight. You can drive down the highways and there'll just be pickup trucks with kids of huge buckets and they'll just dump water all over you. Bangkok just erupted into this crazy parade and festival with they had baby powder that they mix with water to make a paste and they just like walk by and cover your face in it. You've got it like in your eyes and everyone has water guns and there's music. It's just absolutely incredible. The energy is amazing. It was, I mean, I think my favorite
I'm
holiday
jealous.
of life. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go back to Thailand just for Songkran. Gosh, yeah, it's a huge water fight. For a few days, like enough said, the entire country erupts in a water fight. How amazing is that? Um, but yeah, I definitely couldn't name them, but there are countless Buddhist holidays in Thailand. We had so many days off of school. It was incredible. I appreciated it because we used the time to travel, but it's definitely on a really different system than we do. They don't celebrate a lot of the same holidays that we do. That's not surprising. Um, Another thing that they have in Thailand is, of course, Muay Thai. I wanted to talk a little bit about Muay Thai because it's, the probably the most famous sport that comes from Thailand, and it's just an incredible sport to watch. Like, you have traditional Western boxing where you have 2 points of contact. You're one fist, the other fist. You have other martial art forms which have your hands and your feet, so 4 points of contact. Um, and a lot of people call Muay Thai the art of 8 limbs, which refers to your ability to punch with both hands, kick with both feet. Um, you can also kick with your leg, use your elbows, use your knees, and use punches with other parts of so not just your hand, but other parts of, you can use like pretty much any part of your body to fight Muay Thai. That's a lot to keep track of when you're in the ring with someone, so I think that's incredible. We went to see a couple Muay Thai fights actually. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're pretty
Do you
cool. I don't know,
remember?
did you have anything to say about the Muay Thai?
I just remembered being really surprised by, like, in the beginning, I don't know if you remember, they did some sort of spiritual. I want to call it a dance, but it wasn't a dance. Like, they sort of went
Yeah.
around in a circle, repeating these different moves. Um, and I confess I don't know what it means, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was sort of an initiation of some sort in the beginning. They lit incense and they had music happening, and they always had kids fight first, because it's like a rite of passage for them. Every kids, yeah, it's weird to see really tiny, skinny Thai kids throwing punches at each other, but um, yeah, no, they. I do remember that. That's definitely something to look into more of what exactly that ritual was because I don't think I know.